The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
You're like a dancing machine
Is he
today.
like bipolar? First he was pouting and now he's dancing.
You know, I had forgotten how snappy our intro music is.
I love that intro.
It's nice. It made me want to wiggle.
Wow. Okay.
I was in a bad mood.
You were?
Not in a bad mood, but in a, like
Blah.
a blah mood. But that made me want to wiggle.
Okay, good. Because you were looking like you were pouting a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay, good.
So that's the
I
criteria
think
that makes...
sometimes my beard makes me look that way.
Oh, really?
What,
Yeah.
pouty?
Yeah, because
you
everything
can't see
goes
your,
down.
you
Right.
can't see a
You
smile.
definitely look like George Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is George Lucas all upset? Yes. A lot of people look at me and say that. Yes.
But that music makes you want to wiggle.
I wiggle.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
it makes me
all
want to wiggle too.
I also realized
Wiggle.
Wiggle.
I want to wiggle right out of
Yeah.
here.
I also
Is it time?
just today on my way to the show here, right?
Yeah.
I realized I'm in the wrong business. I saw a
Well, you are.
I am, yeah.
If you're a comedian.
yes. Well, yeah,
Showing
I don't.
up at a real
You're definitely
estate
in the wrong
podcast.
business.
Yeah. Well, also, please don't pick that as a way of life. It's just not right for anyone.
What, the real estate? I know.
No. Yeah. Well, both, really. Right. I mean, you're at the whim of idiots. So, anyway. But I saw a truck on the way here that said Golden Blasting.
Okay.
And his license plate was Blaster. And I go, that's the business I should be in. I don't know what he blasts.
You want to be a blaster.
I don't know what call you have to
I like
get
the gold
blasted.
part.
Yeah, but you just get to blow stuff up.
Can you give him a call? Did you write down his number?
It's got to be Blast, something.
All right. Yeah. We'll
we
Google
know the
it.
name,
Golden Blasting.
Right.
Okay.
I think I'm going to ask for a job.
Yeah. Can you
just
ask
call-
one for me too?
Yeah,
Okay.
just start calling up people going, you need anything blasted? I'm your guy.
We would love
we got all
that.
kinds of blasting.
Well, they probably just have a switch.
Yeah.
I could do
So
that.
you just want to destroy things for your next
Yeah.
job. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, like, do you ever see those videos and, when they implode?
Yes.
How, like
Oh, I
this-
love those.
Right. There's like a nursery on one side.
How they do that is on the science
like,
of that.
like a foot away from it, and then on the other side is like, the most protected land on the planet, and they blow it in, and it doesn't go anywhere. I think that.
I've
would
always
have been
wanted to
cool.
get us a commercial doing that. Have us out in front of one of those buildings that get imploded.
Yeah.
And say, this is what happens if you don't go to Carter Law Office. What do you think?
Oh, that's a great idea.
You like that?
Sure.
I think we should
As long
do
as
that.
we don't blow up, right?
Hurry up! Buy this establishment before.
Whoops.
Oh, too late.
See what would have happened?
Yeah.
So-
You gotta act quick.
So look whose birthday it is today.
I remember this from last week.
Yeah,
It's your
yeah,
birthday.
and I
I thought you were
used
going to say
the
from
coupon.
last year.
No.
Yeah, it does seem
They
like
ha-
yesterday.
They do. I know they come quick, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, you
They're
don't
not
look
counted.
a day older.
Oh,
Let me
thank
say
you,
that.
thank
Does
you.
she look mature?
Yeah,
No,
I
that's-
often let's not
Well, I
get
feel mature.
let's not get crazy.
So you're saying I'm immature?
Yeah, no.
All
'Cause
right.
listen, I'm way older than you, right?
Not
And-
way older.
But old enough to go like older, and I keep waiting for me to figure it out
I
or
know.
get mature. And
I
it's
know.
never gonna happen.
Right,
Well,
never
now you
gonna
know what
happen.
you want to
gotta-
do later in life.
Yeah, I want
I
to be
know.
a blast.
You wanna be
Same
a
here.
blaster,
So
yeah.
I've figured it out before you figured it out.
That'd be my. That's the job you want to give to like a 80-year-old with shaky hands. The blasting job.
Really? Not. All right, I'm going to have to put my pen down, Mr.
Well, happy
Sullivan,
birthday to
because
you,
thank
sir.
you.
Are you clicking?
I'm clicking.
Who's clicking?
I thought I could be trusted with a clicky
Yeah,
pen,
yeah,
but
yeah. No.
I actually can't be
No clicking. Yeah.
trusted
I
with
talked
it.
to an 80-year-old at
There
a
you go.
closing the other day, and
Thank you.
the 80-year-old husband said he's been smoking cigarettes for like the past 60 years. He's trying to give up, and the
You've won.
Yeah, 60
Why-
years
why-
you made it.
Right,
Yeah.
why quit now? Listen, I've seen the last 5 or 7 years of someone's life. You ain't missing anything.
Yeah. Yep.
So smoke away. Is that what
Smoke
you're saying?
away. Yeah.
Drink and smoke.
So if I make it to 78, I'm starting up everything again.
Everything you put on the back burner.
Right. Everything I quit, 30 years ago.
Yeah, so 78's the number?
78. If I make it to there,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
My kids are going to go, whoa! What happened to the old man?
He just went off.
Listen, I didn't go crazy. I just been waiting.
For 35 years.
I've been, what do the farmers call it? Lying fallow. You know what I mean? Like where you let the one field go,
Yep.
and then you plant
start
another
the
one,
one-
and
you're
then you
working
go
the
back to the other field.
Yeah.
Right? That's
You're
what
going
I've been
back to the
doing.
other
I'm going
field.
to the other field.
All right.
And I'm going to grow stuff and smoke it.
I hope I still know you, Tony.
You will. You're not getting rid of me.
Well, you'll appreciate this. Then the wife hears the husband say, he's been smoking for 60 years. He's trying to cut down. And she goes, I got to cut out smoking too. I go, well, how long you been smoking? She goes, just like in the last year and a half.
See, she gets it.
You told me that story, yeah.
See, she gets it.
She gets it. She started picking up smoking
Right.
at age 80.
Right.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't beat him, join him, right?
No, right.
I'd like to see you. Would you give up some of your ex-vices too? You're going to have to bust out too, you and Tony.
Yeah, we'll bust out.
Yeah.
We'll bust out.
Because you haven't been drinking that much with your diet and
Oh,
all
but
that.
this weekend it was a big party weekend, so
Was it?
yeah.
I mean, because, let's be honest. When someone gets to be 80, right,
Yeah.
you really don't care what they think.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what
Right.
I mean? They say anything they want. You get a pass.
And they blame it. They blame it on whatever
it was.
Alzheimer's or whatever. But they
it
can
is.
say
But
whatever they
can
want,
say
and
whatever
they're
they
fine.
want. And the rest of the world doesn't really care
Right.
about what they have to think.
Right.
You know? It's like this. I mean, let's be honest. You ever feel
And who thought the show was going to go sideways today?
I never dreamt, because sometimes I'll say to people, I'm not old enough to say what I'm actually thinking right now.
Right.
80, you will get there, Ed. You will get there.
I like that.
It's a
I think
good
I'm going to
line,
use
too.
that
Yeah.
in my this current
Yeah.
year. I'm
All
going to
right,
use that.
do it.
Yeah, say it one more time. I do like that line. You're not old enough.
I am not old enough to say what I'm
thinking.
Yeah, what I'm
Currently
really
thinking.
thinking.
Yeah. No, I like that.
They came out with and we stay away from politics. I'm just making a blanket
No, that's-
statement here
Yeah.
that Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, the young woman from New York, the congresswoman,
Yep.
she came out with the Green New Deal. She was putting this,
Yeah.
and all the old fat white guys are against it.
Yep.
And she's going, well, this is what she's really saying is, look, you guys are going to be dead. I got to breathe this shit for the next 50 years. I don't care what you think. But
It's
she
true.
can't say that.
Right.
I can.
Yes.
You're at
Are
that
you
age now?
you're at the age?
Well, I'm
All
one
right.
of the old white guys. I know it's not about me anymore.
So
it's about them.
How long do I have to wait without you
don't
telling?
have- this is the thing. You get to pick the age you are when you say whatever you feel.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Then today's. This is my year.
There you go.
I think you kind of have to gauge the reaction, though.
No, right. That was what I was going to follow up with. You also have to suffer the consequence.
Well, right.
That's the other thing about free speech. You get to say it, but I get to have my opinion as well.
Right. Okay.
That's the thing free speech people don't want you to think. They go, I get to say whatever I want. Yeah, and I don't got to like it.
Right.
That's the way it works.
I'm able
Well,
to
I'm
give
not
you a
going to
rebuttal.
say anything too crazy, Tony.
No. But I just.
Did you ever see her during one of her Tourette's days? Yeah, she'll
She'll go off the deep end.
Yeah.
You did one of those.
I called somebody the B word.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't really mean to. I meant to hang up and then say the B word.
You called somebody that on the phone? A client?
Well, kind of.
Go ahead.
Not now.
Yeah.
Was a client.
It was a client, but she was being really mean. She was being really mean, and we were both trying to do the same job to get to the same end result. And this is a way back, and there were people lined up at my desk wanting to talk to me, and I was a little flustered, and I meant to hang up the phone and say, "You bleeping bleep,"
Right.
Yeah.
and it just came out of my mouth. And then I hung up the phone.
Oh, you just had the order wrong.
And then one of my bosses, Rick wasn't there, but one of my bosses came running up the stairs and he goes, "Kathleen." I go, "Yeah," as I'm crying now.
Of course.
Because did you just call so and so a bleep and bleep? I go, I did.
And he laughed all the way downstairs.
He went hysterical laughing, and that was the end of that.
Some people need to know that's exactly what they are.
I know, it stopped her dead in her tracks.
I just got reminded of a saying that I have, and I mean this sincerely, and I'm gonna warn. We were just talking about not cursing that much on the air.
Yep.
If you're sensitive, I'm gonna tell you up front. I'm gonna curse right now.
Okay.
All right. So I'll give you a second to turn away. In our society right now, it's easier. It's more accepted for someone to be an asshole.
I know.
Than to be called an asshole.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You understand what
right,
I'm saying?
right, yeah.
You're right.
You know, someone could be going off on you all afternoon.
But the minute you tell them,
you go, hey, you're an asshole, they go, hey,
Who do you think I am?
what's the language? Hey, what about the language? You go, well, stop being one, and I won't call you one.
Again, it's very subjective.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But the threshold,
right. Yeah, we got it backwards.
Right,
You get
right. You're able to act that way. But as soon as you call them the compliment.
Whoa, hey!
What did you just say?
No need for that kind of language.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, God.
That's not really that bad of a word.
All right, I'm done. You guys have a show now.
I don't think so.
I'm having a hard time reading this. I don't know where we stopped off, and so I'm going to follow your lead.
All right.
This all started with your birthday, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. In Tourette's. Yeah,
In
maybe
my
on your
Tourette's.
birthday, you're able to say what is ever on your mind.
Oh, I got a couple more hours then.
A couple more hours.
1:30. I got 1:20. I got a couple more hours till midnight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You'll get it all.
You'll be hearing from me.
All right. While we're doing a show, if you want to blurt out anything that you feel like you want to say, we're here for
Do
you.
you really? Do you really
Yeah,
want me
I do.
to?
I would
Okay.
find that very entertaining there.
All righty.
So I think we were talking about last week about how to keep brokers out of trouble, try to be a little proactive on some of the issues. We talked about a little bit about advertising. You can't say certain things.
Right.
You can't say walking distance to
a church.
To a church.
Right.
Good schools.
Because that would be discriminatory,
Did you say
right?
good schools?
You can't. You can say good schools, but you can't say the
Catholic
best school.
like a Catholic
You definitely
school.
can't do that. And you can't say the best school in the world. That's called puffing. We talked about
Puffing,
that.
right.
And that's so we sort of went a little waylaid once we talked about puffing last week. So,
Right.
So I think we were going to try to bring it around this week on other things that we've seen brokers, because they do things at the last second, run into some issues.
Right.
So,
But sometimes it's not their fault. Like we had
No.
We had one where the fire department, she ordered the smoke certificate, make sure all the fire detectors work.
So what is that? When does that have to be dated in Massachusetts?
Is it 60 days?
60 days, yeah.
Prior to the sale.
Prior to the sale,
Yeah.
yes.
The purchase and sale agreement or to the actual
closing,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
But
these
I
are
guess
just words I've learned. So I
Yeah.
throw them
No,
out
no,
whenever-
you're doing great.
Wherever I feel they're appropriate.
they're appropriate. No, but so I guess when I entered into the purchase and sale agreement, I would go ahead and make the call to the fire department, because sometimes they work just Tuesdays. They just do the smoke certificates on Tuesdays. Sometimes they go out to the property and there's something wrong with the fire detectors, so they have to replace them, and that entails getting an electrician and
sometimes there's a security system that's tied in with the smoke detector.
Yeah. So, but this woman called, like I guess right after the purchase and sale was signed,
Right.
And they were out 6 weeks. They were
They're
backed up
6 weeks.
which is not the norm.
I wouldn't
But if you
imagine.
should know in your community,
To go into a house and push a button and go,
yeah,
beep, beep, beep.
and it's not that simple anymore. Like, because a lot of them are hardwired, and like if one of them's
right.
not working, none of them are
None of them,
working,
right, they're
or
on a
like you know what I
system.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a big one, and we cannot close without.
You can't do it.
No.
It's
And some
legally
people will
impossible.
say, why don't you just close with a holdback, or
Right.
we'll get it to you tomorrow. But in this particular case, they went in and there was like an illegal kitchen or something, right?
Right.
Or
there was a legal couple rooms. So what they did,
Couple of
Yeah.
illegal
Yeah,
rooms.
no,
yeah, like they built rooms
Right.
without
one in the attic,
without a building permit.
and one on the side, and they said, no, this isn't wired. You can't. You actually have to shut off these 2 rooms. You can't use the attic.
Which changed the value of the house.
Right.
Because they went from buying a 5-bedroom to buying a 3-bedroom.
Right. Yep.
So it turned into a massive problem.
I can imagine.
So the buyer said,
You can't go around lying.
Right.
Well,
right.
no,
right.
They weren't lying because it was a 5-bedroom.
They were lying a little.
In their head, it was a 5-bedroom. It just wasn't legal with the city.
Right.
So
You couldn't use the 5 bedrooms,
Right.
but yeah.
In my head, this is a palatial estate. Yet it only seems to be a 1-bedroom.
But people
in my
forget.
head.
Yeah. People forget when they throw in a bathroom without a building permit,
sure.
or they forget things
Right.
conveniently. Really,
Do we patent the last idea that
Movable walls?
No, not the movable walls.
we did patent that, by the
That
way.
one's
We
patented.
should.
Absolutely. How about the voice activated with your own voice
Yeah.
on if there's a fire?
Oh, the fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the voice should be commensurate or equal to the disaster.
Right.
It's at one point it should be, hey, Tone, you left the pan on the
Hey, Tone.
burner.
Yeah.
Hey, Tone, you left the pan on the burner. You might want to turn that off. And it ranges to, get the hell out of the house. There's a fire. What the hell's wrong with you, you moron? Move.
And mine would say, "Don't worry, Mom's cooking again."
Right.
Yeah.
It should be equal
Commensurate to what the real
what's going on.
what the real issue is.
Every time our fire alarms went off in my old house, the kids would just come running down the stairs for
Right.
dinner. They're like,
Right.
"Oh, we know it's dinner time because Mom just opened the oven."
And then
Now
you
that's
can
kinda-
customize them too.
Go ahead.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You happy to see me, or your pants on fire?
Oh, so you want one-liners during this
So
emergency?
there's another job for you.
Yeah, I can do those.
Right.
If you want
Hey,
personalized fire.
I know your house is on fire, but have you heard this one?
Let me just say this
All
real
right.
quick.
This is real quick. I got a story for you.
Everybody whose house is not on fire, take one step forward. Hey, where you going?
Pay attention.
So you're talking about cleaning. I was thinking about fire alarms and alarms out in cars. And you were just saying the same thing where, your alarm's going off, your kids just think you're cooking. It seems to defeat the purpose a little bit.
Well, no, they come running down the stairs, and I would just say, "Get the hell out!
food.
Get out of the house if you need whatever." But
You ever hear an alarm go off, a car alarm?
Car alarm. When was the last time you paid attention?
I know, that's
To a car alarm.
That's
Never.
what I mean.
Never.
Yeah,
Never.
Right.
Right, so it's going to get broken into. All the stuff is going to get stolen
Kinda
out,
defeats
and
the
everyone's going to be
purpose.
like, "Whose stupid person has their car is going off, and it's driving me crazy."
Maybe you could have that as part of one of the statements. Whose stupid car is going off?
Right.
Yeah. So you can editorialize.
That seems like a job for golden blasting, if you ask me.
Well, you could get a tip. You should never leave anything of value in your car.
That's
Because
right. That's a good point.
Right,
People
because
break
people
into
just
cars.
they smash and grab, and
Sure.
they're gone, and everyone's
Do you leave your Social Security card in your wallet?
No, I don't even know where my Social Security card is.
No, I don't have a social security.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have a number.
Yeah, we know. We
have
know
a
about
number.
that.
Yeah.
It's not real, though, right?
I don't know where my card is.
Oh, you have a real number?
Oh, yeah. I'm
okay.
legit.
Okay.
You got a couple, don't you?
Several.
We've had a lender say that to us. They'll come in for an application, and they'll say, "Can you give us your Social Security number?" And they say, "Which one?" That's not a good sign.
That's nice.
All right, so related, I guess, to the fire department in Massachusetts, you're gonna make sure that the oil tank is in compliance with Mass General laws too. I think some of the older ones need these sleeves on the oil tank to make sure they can get your insurance for your buyer.
Oh,
so
that's a new one. I
That's
haven't
a new
heard that one.
Like a oil tank condom.
Yeah,
Kind of like that, I think.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No,
I like to boil it down so the regular people can understand it.
All right, so you need a
talking to the
condom
mass,
for your
Talking to the
furnace.
masses.
So think Trojan when you're
Right.
talking oil
Sure.
tank. Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
What's it
Oh.
for? Is it to prevent leaking?
Yes.
Well, then I stand by what I said earlier.
Oh, boy. So we don't have to swear on this show, but we
No.
can.
We dance
have,
around.
Yeah, we have innuendos all over the
And I'm
place.
not even,
not sure if
I'm not
those are
even
innuendos.
78 yet.
Well, yeah.
All right. Water pipes getting water readings at the last second.
Yep.
So certain towns,
that happens all the time.
You can't get a water reading if you have lead pipes as opposed to copper piping.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Lead's no good for you.
Lead's no good for you.
No.
So if you wait till the last second, they say, "Oh, we're not going to give you water." You got to change all your piping around.
But you can't do that the day before the closing.
You can't do that the day before.
It doesn't seem like that's an
that's a quick
thing
fix.
Like,
right.
No.
Right.
Seems
exactly.
like it might be another job for Golden Blaster. Listen, we can't sell the house. Well, I can take care of that for you. Are you insured? Absolutely.
Boy.
Turn away for a minute.
Yeah, turn away for another minute. Why don't you just turn us off? This is not going very, very good.
All right, so we've talked about this. Title searches should be done early. We've caught a lot.
We've talked about that?
I've mentioned this before, yes. Not as much as the blaster information there, but I think we should do the title searches because we found some crazy stuff in the titles at the last second.
Right, and not so crazy things like you get a Citizens Bank home equity loan and you don't use it, or you've used it but you've long paid it off. And what they do, Citizens, right?
Yes.
Will write you a letter and say, "Dear Mr. Carter, congratulations on paying off your mortgage. Here is your original discharge of mortgage that you should file at the Registry of Deeds." What does Rick do with it? If he wasn't a real estate attorney, he puts it in his file.
Do you know how many people actually record those discharges?
Probably less than 5%.
Yep.
Not even.
Yep.
Nobody.
Yep.
So when you see outstanding Citizens Bank, you have to make an assumption that it's been paid off and it's been discharged, but just not at the Registry of Deeds.
They've now since corrected that policy.
Yeah.
For about 5 years, they would send it directly to the homeowner. And the homeowner
Now, who do they send it to?
They send it to the closing attorney.
Or the registry, right.
A registered professional.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't want.
Or they send them directly to the registry, or they have the capacity to e-file, which is from their desk.
So it just goes into your files.
No, it goes. They scan it to the registry, and they record it for a fee, of course.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
For a cost.
Why wouldn't you? It seems like it's important.
Right. It's simple.
We've found solar panel leases.
Right, but they have that down pretty good.
Do these go against the house as a lien?
Yes.
Okay.
They're a lien on the property, so you can't sell it.
L-I-E-N.
L-I-E-N. Yeah. Not a line.
Not a line.
But a lien.
And not like cut out the fat.
No.
L-E-A-N.
No.
No, it's lean.
Lean.
Probably some, probably Greek or something like that.
It could be.
Where's it
No,
from? Where's it from?
Latin,
Latin,
maybe?
maybe?
Latin.
It's probably Latin.
Yeah. All right.
So now they have solar panel leases.
Yeah.
If you get solar panels, you can A, buy them outright,
Right.
or B, you can lease them. But when you sell the house, when you lease them, they put what they call a UCC financing statement on your a lien, L-I-E-N, against your property.
Yeah. Okay.
Until you pay it off.
Right.
But you can't sell it without without paying them off and getting that discharge.
I see. So the solar company has to say it's okay that you could buy the house with these on them, and we'll continue.
Then you get in a new buyer's name. You transfer everything over.
So what they'll do is they'll release the lien so that they can sell the house, and then when the new buyer buys the house, they'll put a new lien on the property.
Right.
Lien. L-I-E-N.
Not a relien.
No.
You can't relien something.
Well,
if it was originally lean.
That's a made-up word. I think you just made that word
Words
up.
have to start somewhere.
I know.
Why can't they start here, Cap?
You know what? We just made up a new one. So they relien the property to the new buyer.
Yes.
How's that?
That's fine.
Please use the word relien
in a sentence.
All right, we found this on the titles before where they had a restriction from the Board of Health saying you could only use 3 bedrooms in this house because the way it's set up for its private septic system. And people don't know it.
What?
They've been selling their house.
So they have a septic system on the property.
Right.
But it's only for a 3-bedroom house. So there's a restriction.
Or they changed another room into a bedroom.
Yeah.
And then they're selling the property as if it's a 5-bedroom.
I see.
But then we find a restriction in the title that says it can only be used as a 3-bedroom.
Right.
It seems to me that the bedroom shouldn't dictate what happens to the, to where your waste goes. It should be the bathroom.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. But I think that the more bedrooms you have, the more
people
in
using
the house.
bathroom.
Yes.
Right. I get it.
Do you know that that if a room doesn't have a closet, it's not considered a bedroom? Like, so you use a room in your house as a bedroom and it doesn't have a closet?
What if you have a rack?
It doesn't matter.
A clothes rack.
You got to build a closet.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Ask Stu Holtshouser. He's done it.
They live in a 7-bedroom house right now.
Closets just don't appear, Kath.
I know.
You got to cut a hole and then you're in another room.
Well, or either build out and make the room smaller. You could build it out.
You could do that way. Yeah. Right. Because if that were to happen, one man's closet is another man's bedroom.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Literally. Hey, stop throwing your stuff in there.
It could be
I needed a closet.
It could be the same man, though.
Right. It could be the same guy. Right. It's perspective.
Is this part of our idle thoughts?
Yes. We've moved on. Plot plans. Mm-hmm. Should we do a plot plan early in the process? We found some interesting stuff lately.
Yes, we found a swing set
on
the neighbor's property.
On their property, but they were marketing it the whole time.
But the buyer,
as it was their swing set,
as it was their land. Yes.
Well, they took a picture of the house
and you see the swing set.
Yes.
And they go, "Oh, look!
Oh, what a nice house!
So
we'll buy that."
We get the plot plan,
right?
And it's a big deal to the buyer because they have little tiny kids, and all they can picture is their children out playing on that swing set.
Not bothering them. Yeah.
Right. The one in my town that always gets people are wetlands that people have filled in on their own, and then when they go,
well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's a great one.
You know about wetlands, right?
Our prolific,
a little bit,
Ed Sullivan producer,
a little tiny bit.
So sometimes we'll find what they call order conditions on the property where they built originally near wetlands, and the Conservation Commission said, "Yeah, you can build." But here's some conditions you got to do.
You cannot cut trees down,
you
or you cannot do anything. You got to have
hail bales up surrounding the property.
Hail bales.
Hail bales.
Hail bales.
Yeah.
Hay bales.
Hay bales.
Hail bales.
Hay bales.
Hay bales.
Little Walter Brennan in me on that one.
Gonna get
hail bales.
Gonna get you some hail bales and put them around the property so the revenues don't come in.
Bunch of hillbillies drop those off.
But everybody has short memories when it comes to that. So then the buyer says, yeah.
I love this. Right.
And then they go and chop trees down or whatever, and the order of conditions has never been satisfied, and it's never been released of record.
And it can get released, but it takes a little time. You got to go to the Conservation Commission.
Well, most times it can get released, but sometimes they won't do it.
Sure, you have to replant the trees, wait for them to grow.
You got to bring your as-built plans.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, as-built. As-built.
Yep.
That shows the hail bales.
One S.
Yeah.
Well, so technically two. As built.
So A-S.
Yeah.
Built.
Okay. So, one S is what I'm saying.
Well, there's two S's in that. Never mind.
We've really gone off course on this one.
But so if you
I'm trying to teach people. I want people to be educated as well as being able to purchase a house.
So the thing is, if you need to get a release of an order of conditions, go ahead, Ricky. You got to make an appointment, right, with the Conservation Commission.
They might only meet once or twice a month. And they might
you might not be on their agenda.
Right. And that happens a lot. Sometimes
you got to get on their agenda.
Office isn't on their agenda.
Or you have to get on their agenda.
Right.
Or they won't talk to you.
Right. So if you have a closing at the end of the month and they're not meeting for 4 more weeks, then
you got trouble.
Listen, everyone thinks we're just sitting around doing nothing when we're actually spinning and spinning, just spinning our magic to get this all done.
I mean,
we're not just pretty faces around this
industry.
Really
not just pretty faces with our hair.
Listen, just listening to you two exhausts me.
You should stick around all day.
I couldn't go through one of your days. I go, what? They call the thing and get it recorded. I go, huh?
That sounds like Rick.
What are you talking about?
Are we leaning it or re-leaning it?
Right. Who's leaning on a building?
Who's bringing the ass
Tell them
built?
to stand straight up. Get your ass built and get out of here.
That house has a title problem. Just implode it. Implode the thing.
Yeah.
This seems like a job for Golden Blasting.
We know this guy at Golden Blasting, and
He'll take care of everything you need.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of those wetlands? I can do that for you.
Oh.
So do you want to go through a couple idle thoughts in the next 30 seconds?
Yeah, I'll shut up. You guys just go.
No.
Rip through them. Go ahead.
Idle thoughts.
I'll have a drink of water.
Idle thoughts that run through Rick Carter's head.
Yeah. Make sure your seller's committed. That's a good one. Sometimes we have sellers who go through the process and say, you know what? I don't want to sell after all anyway.
No, really, they do.
Psych.
Boy, did I fool you.
You thought the whole time
I was going to
sell the house.
Talking about wasting time.
What a moron.
It's like buyer's remorse, but it's seller's remorse. Stop it, you two. It's real.
What a maroon.
Well, I can't believe you fell for that.
Let me get this straight. You actually thought I was going to sell you this house.
So, but anyway, in that vein, which is, how do you spell vein? V-E-I-N, vein.
Right.
Isn't it?
Not
Go
like
ahead.
weather.
That's
V-A-I-N? Go ahead. No.
Well, there's 3 ways to spell it.
Sure.
Going down that path,
Yeah.
P-A-T-H,
Yes.
we have to remind our buyers and sellers when you enter into, when the buyer gives an offer on a house
Yeah.
and the seller accepts it, it is a binding contract,
Sure.
and there's money to be lost if
Yeah.
you guys change
You got to
your
have
mind.
some skin in the game.
Right.
Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know how many more you want to hear. I like this one. Do not use baby monitors to monitor the buyer's conversations.
Yeah, we've
Oh,
gone
yeah,
through
we've gone
that.
through
We
that.
did that one.
How about
How about a glass on a wall?
Oh, you can do that.
You can do that.
well, you could do the string.
The string,
the string with the
with a
glass,
cup.
and you can
Yeah.
say to your husband,
Hey, how's
Yeah.
it going there?
This is the blaster.
and the other one of those stupid things is like so many people close at the end of the month. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and they're all lumped in together, and everybody wants to close on the 31st of the month.
Right.
Outside of August 31st or June 30th, like I
Right.
can't see
Which are that's
like
because
the end of
fiscal
school, and the beginning of school. So you want to
Right,
sell your
right,
house.
right.
And get
be
the
a-
kids into the new house. Like, you
Right,
know what I mean? Like,
right.
they want to finish out the school year and whatnot. But
Right, because you want to find out what the school's actually like, because no one can tell you what it was, because that's against the rules.
yeah, it's puffing.
Right.
Now we're just, it's loosely puffing. But
Yeah.
the end of the month, everyone always thinks they save money.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you.
You don't.
you
don't.
don't
You
save
don't.
money.
No.
Every day that you own that house, you pay a per diem
Right.
interest on the mortgage
Right.
for the money that you're borrowing.
Right.
So it's kind of a fallacy that the end of the month saves you money.
Listen, everybody who's going to make their money in this deal is going to make their money no matter what day.
It was 2 days before,
Right,
2 days
2 days
later.
Yep. later, right.
Yeah,
It could be in the middle of the month. You still
Right.
owe
Sure.
interest.
The bank's not going to give you a break. The
Right.
brokers
It's not-
aren't,
yeah. So that's a
I
fallacy.
think it should be like, as you guys were saying last week, like The Voice. You just turn around. This is the house you get.
Right.
And here's what you get.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Right.
We're going to close. That's right. And here is your house.
Woo!
You're closing on June 14th, okay?
Right.
You're
So
going to
the
have title
date-
problems.
Right.
You don't
Right.
owe the neighbor's property.
Right, you just start listing everything,
Right.
and when you get to a place where you can tolerate it, you go, boom, my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you spin around and you're
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
I like
I'm
that.
the winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're
All
going to have
right.
to leave on that one.
Oh, my God.
We
Yeah.
got a lot of information out today.
We did?
Sure.
No.
Not.
I thought we did.
No, we did.
I really thought we did.
You make me
My
laugh.
head is spinning.
Is he a comedian?
He's a comedian. All right, thanks for joining
You're
us.
awesome, Tony.
Birthday girl.
Happy birthday, Kat.
Thank you.
Tony V, the Master Blaster. And this is Tony Rick.
And I'm his assistant now.
Yeah.
I'm the
His
Master
assistant.
Blaster.
I'm the Master
assistant.
Blaster assistant with the original Tourette's syndrome problem. Thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. We'll see you next week, possibly.
Not.
Not.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.